Hey everyone, welcome back to my next art book preview video. This week we've got the Art of God of War. So a quick look at the front and the back of the cover there. This is quite a large book and it's a hardback one. If I can even fit that in, it is quite difficult to fit in shot. So let's get straight into this and take a look at the chapters section. So it's not broken up into too many sections, but there you go. Okay, so I've just adjusted my light a little bit there, so hopefully that's a little bit better. I have had a quick look through this book and I really like this illustration at the beginning. That's actually one of my favourite of all the characters. So you might have guessed, if you're not familiar already, that this book is a video game book. So God of War is a very popular PlayStation video game. And there are other God of War art books in the series as well. The original three. This one's much newer. I haven't seen those, so I couldn't really comment on them. But to give you a rough idea, I think it's been a long time for me, but I think the original three, the older three, were more sort of Greek mythology, which I'm really into. I won't claim to know much about it, but I like the designs and the stories behind it and things like that. So I was always quite a big fan as a kid of those games. This one, as mentioned, is much more recent. It has been out for a good couple of years now. And to give you an idea of which direction the designs in this were going in comparison with Greek mythology, from the little that I have played, I'm under the impression it's more like Norse gods, that kind of thing. Maybe even a little bit Viking-y. But again, I don't know my gods and mythology very well, so I'm sure some of you guys will be able to correct me in the comments below. I would be interested in knowing more. I have just adjusted my lighting again. Hopefully that's a little bit better, a little bit clearer. I know it is a little bit darker. It's very difficult when you're previewing like glossy pages. Anyway, back to the book. You can see that we've got some really cool designs for creatures. I won't even pretend to know the creatures' names. This is a video game that I do own, but I don't really get a lot of time to play video games. So I never really got past the first few hours, which I always regret, and I always mean to go back and play it. It's definitely top of my list of games to play, especially because there is a new God of War game coming out in about a month or two of me recording this. Some cool character designs there for the main character. I don't know if these are different armors or if this is just his standard attire, sort of variations. And from glancing through this book last night, I noticed this book contains quite a lot of paintings. A lot of them seem to be digital paintings. It has quite a lot of concept work, but there's an awful lot of sort of landscape work, or maybe full scenes, that'd probably be a better way of wording it. As well as that, there's a lot of sculptures of monsters, like physical clay sculptures, which is pretty cool. And some 3D models from what I can tell. I will admit that some of them I couldn't tell whether they were 3D models or just really well painted. So we've also got concept designs for weapons, and I think that we will see as well that there's sort of armor designs, creature designs, some really cool creatures when it comes to like this kind of Norse mythology, Norse gods, world serpent, that kind of thing. I'm a big fan of black and white sketches and variations on designs, let's call it. So things like this, to me, I really love that. There are a few throughout, but the book definitely consists much more of like full colour scenes, as mentioned. I would class these as sort of fully rendered scenes. To me, they are, beyond anything I would ever be able to dream of painting. So I definitely think they're fully rendered paintings. But I know that these guys who know what they're doing might be able to do these quite quickly and might class them more as concept art. Things that they've done just to get a bit of a thumbnail, a bit of an idea, to set the scene, the mood, that kind of thing. I do think the book's got a very dark fantasy feel to it, which I don't mind. I quite like anything fantasy. But I know that's not for everyone. There's some really, really dark creatures though. Creatures, monsters, whatever you want to call them. So we mentioned already that the next video game in the series, which is a really highly anticipated game, I would say this is one of like the biggest games around, and that one comes out very soon, the next few months. And I did notice there is one place you can pre-order an art book for it, but at the moment the price is sky high, so I would like to own that when it comes out. It's kind of the reason why I got this one. Found it pretty cheap. I will put links to where I got it from in the description box below, by the way. But I found it pretty cheap and I thought it's finally time maybe to buy it, because I always intended to. And we'll see whether I sort of enjoy this book enough or see how much the new book comes out as to whether it's worth buying. So far, I would say there is an awful lot of artwork in here though. And as mentioned, there's sort of a whole range of things included, especially if you like fully coloured things. I think you will definitely enjoy this book. My one criticism, and I don't think many people would necessarily agree with me, but my one criticism is that there isn't more initial sketching. I know I said it earlier, but some more of the like non-rendered stuff. More like this. I just think stuff like that is so cool. I still like the fully coloured stuff, but I don't know why the sketches stand out to me a little bit more. And I'm also more of a character designer, and I would say this book, whilst it does have absolutely tons of characters in, it does have an awful lot of scenery and stuff as well. But I guess there's something for everyone in this. And the way this is laid out with all the full colour paintings, concepts, environments, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Assassin's Creed art books. I only actually had one, and it was the Valhalla one, so again, another Viking kind of theme one. So if you're watching this video, you might enjoy that book as well. So I will put a link in the description box below if you want to check that book preview video out as well. Aside from that, I seem to have accumulated quite a lot of art books now and quite a lot of video game ones, so definitely check the description box below to see that playlist. Again, my kind of design, really cool creature design that. I really need to play this game. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys, but this is a large book. We've got, let's have a look, pretty close to 225 pages. It's definitely a really well put together book. It includes a ton of content. The print quality seems good, and so does the paper and the book itself. So if you can pick this up for a good price and you're into this kind of thing, video games or Norse mythology, dark fantasy, anything like that, it might be worth you picking this one up. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like the video, leave me a comment below, and of course subscribe for more content. As well as that, you can hit that bell notification if you want to be notified of future videos. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.